So, we've been waiting for this day for a long time. There's been a lot of work done by a lot of people. Come on up, Mary. And we're very proud of what we have wrought, which is a public amenity that we in New Bedford can be very proud of for generations to come. When I got into office 3.5 years ago, I felt very strongly that we had to take steps to reconnect the city with its waterfront. This is a major city asset right here. It is. We are a city by the sea in every respect. New Bedford exists because of the sea. New Bedford succeeds today because of the sea, and New Bedford will have a great future because of the sea. But here in the South End, we've been cut off from the sea for some 50 years. We are in an era of rising sea levels. We are very grateful that the hurricane barrier was built with federal money some 50-something years ago. And it was built at a time when nobody had coined the term climate change or greenhouse gases, and we were, at that time, the city was thinking about protecting primarily its mills right over here, the Berkshire mills. But it is fortuitously a major asset that protects the city in an era when everybody wants to build one of these things, including New York. All that said, the downside of having this, what is supposed to be the largest man-made structure on the east coast of the United States, is that it cuts off our neighborhoods from views of this, views that are hard to give words to because they speak for themselves. And there are cities all over America that have walkways, nice walkways along the water. We have it in the lower part of our peninsula, but we don't have nearly enough of it. And there is value. There's value in here, being up here, being able to experience these views from this commanding position. Value in terms of the city's quality of life, values in terms of adding value to the housing stock in our neighborhoods, and value in terms of our civic life. This is a place where in which we can take pride as residents of our great city. So we embarked on, and I remember having this conversation with Ron LaBelle and with Christina Connolly some 3.5 years ago, that we were going to make this a priority. We were going to find a way to build a bike path on this hurricane dike, and to do it also ultimately on the Clark's Cove side because it was that important. And so we have over the course of the last several years worked with our contractors, PA Landers, as well as Seaglin, and I'll explain a little bit about what they did in a moment, and did an awful lot of work with our very talented in-house team. The engineers at CDM Smith, of course, but also our guys, our DPI employees who you see behind me right now, who did tremendous work through the summer heat to get this thing done. Let me give you a little bit of the detail. The construction of the Harborwalk was completed just this summer, just in recent weeks, and PA Landers, who does a lot of the work, the sidewalk work and road work in our city, laid the cement down 30 feet at a time over the course of many months. The Harborwalk itself is some 3,400 linear feet long. It's 14 inches thick and contains 1,500 cubic yards of concrete. Our DPI, are very hardworking and very talented DPI employees, installed some 6,800 feet of custom-made aluminum railing and 26,840 feet of electrical wiring to supply power to 164 light fixtures. And if you haven't come by at night, take a look. It looks fabulous. It looks fabulous from there. It looks fabulous from out at sea. It looks great. The view up here speaks for itself. For me, this is the third day in a row I've been up here. I was out here on Monday, on Columbus Day, which, for the mayor of New Bedford is the best holiday because there are no events I have to go to on Columbus Day, unlike every other holiday. So I got to go up here with my kids and we rode bikes, and it made me feel like I was on the High Line in New York, which has been hugely celebrated nationally over the last 10 years. I've been on the High Line once, and it felt like a crowded corridor, people coming and going, just enjoying the open space. That was the feeling. If you were up here on Sunday, you would have had here a spectacular early fall day with people getting out and enjoying public space that's readily available to them here in their city. That's what we can be proud of, and if there's something I want people to take away from this, these types of things aren't just for New York or Boston or well-heeled communities by the seaside. New Bedford deserves something just like this. And if there's the message about this project is that New Bedford can think big and get stuff done. And that's what this was. We've been talking about doing something like this for 50 years. The idea wasn't new at all, but we made it happen because we believed in ourselves, the city believed in itself, the city workforce believed in itself. We worked together, and we got it done. We got it done by pulling money from a number of different places. The budget for this was $2.3 million. It included some state funds as well as funds from different pots in city government. We pulled it all together, and it's a big accomplishment for the city, and there are lots of people to thank. And I want to begin with the person who, Jon was just introduced to him a moment ago, and he said, "Oh, you're Ron LaBelle. You're the guy that gets stuff done in the city." And I think that's right. Ron LaBelle is the guy that gets stuff done in the city because he's built a great team, and they are public servants in the best in the best meaning of that term. Ron and I worked on this for the last 3.5 years, and Ron will be the first to tell you that I push him relentlessly and his team relentlessly, his Deputy Commissioner Zeb Aruda, who's behind me, because I know they can get the job done, and they did. And they worked very closely with CDM Smith, the city's engineers, who have done some fabulous work around the city in the last couple of years, including at Custom House Square and a number of other places, as well as many places underground that are outside of the public view. It's a real tribute to their hard work, and I'll have Ron come up in a second to talk a little bit about the details. Mary Repose, our Parks and Recreation Director. Where's Mary? Right there. Great job as always. This is a public recreational amenity, and we're going to make sure it's programmed well and that we do a great job in bringing everybody down here. Pat Sullivan, the head of our Planning, Housing, and Community Development Department, another key player in all of this. Pat couldn't be here today. CDM Smith the team was led by Kim Drake, who again did the great work over at Custom House Square. She deserves tremendous credit, very skillful and very proud of this project. The Army Corps of Engineers played a big role in this. The Army Corps built this pier, this facility, back in the 60s. The Army Corps continues to have jurisdiction over it. They still occupy the gatehouse over there. They run that, and they've been in the city for an awfully long time, and we worked very closely with the New England commander of the Army Corps, Colonel Chuck Samaras, who is an Iraq veteran and a very great leader he's moved on to another post since he worked with us, but very flexible, very accommodating. The Army Corps really stepped up and did a great job in working with the city because he understood the vision we had for this. We were assisted by some state grants as well, and I want to thank the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, Secretary Matt Beaton. We had 2 different grants that contributed to the project. PA Landers. Mike Foley is here from PA Landers. Mike is, I was telling Mike beforehand, this is great marketing for PA Landers. It's not just another sidewalk. This is something special, and you guys deserve a lot of credit for getting it done, Mike. And I want just ask you to let everybody know, PA Landers, what a great job that we believe they did. This is something they can be proud of as well. Seguin Enterprises was the electrical contractor. Another great job by them. Great contribution to this overall effort. This is a place where we can do lots of different things. Ride bikes, you can run, and the vision, or just spend a couple minutes staring out at the water. It's not a bad thing. I will note Kim Camara from yesteryear cyclery is here, brought me the bike to ride. I always hate to put the helmet on him, but maybe I will today to do that. But it's for everybody. This thing is for everybody to enjoy, and the vision in the long run again is to connect up the city with the water again. So we are in the process of asking the state for money to do the Clark's Cove side. That project is shovel ready. It's been designed, it's permitted, it's ready to go. And I know that our guys at DPI will do a great job working on that as well. I'm going to have Ron LaBelle come up and say a little bit about the project, and also go through, thank personally the guys that worked on the project from DPI, and then we'll cut the ribbon. Ron.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Take a look at the view. We've missed that view for 50 years, and here we are, and we've got it back, and it's just breathtaking. It's unique. Public infrastructure is involved in almost every project that takes place in the city. We're tasked with water, with wastewater, with highways, streets, sidewalks, planting trees, and all of that it's great stuff. But this project here, this was unique. It was special. And our team, and I stress that, and Jon, thanks for the accolades, but I don't get it all done. They get it all done. And I can remember when the mayor took me aside in his office and he said, I want to do this. And I've got to be very honest and upfront with everybody. I looked at him and I said, Mayor, I don't think so. Because it was a tall jump with the Army Corps, but all the credit definitely goes to the mayor. There was a lot of pushback from the Army Corps about doing this project, and the mayor persuaded them that this was the way to go for the city. And I can honestly tell you that he fights hard, for what's right for the city. And this, again, this doesn't get any special than that. Kind of a thought when you go way back to the beginning when we started doing this. It was, how do you construct it? How do we bring up a concrete truck up here? And I can still visualize that in my mind, standing down below with the guys and Zeb Aruda, and the LNS guys are backing up a concrete truck up here, and everybody's looking at each other saying, well, I hope it doesn't fall in the water. And it was a little hairy at first, but we got it up here, and we sort of proved that we could get it done. And then, the design up here is actually special, because this slab that you're standing on has 2 layers of what we call number 6 re-rod in it, steel re-rod, in 4-inch squares and double mats like this. And all of that had to be constructed to support this based on Army Corps specs. And the 14 inches of concrete is a design component because of the wave action during a Category 3 hurricane. If you can picture this wave action coming up this embankment, it could lift this concrete slab. So everything had to meet the Army Corps design specs, and we did. And our team rose to the occasion. PA Landers did a great job. Want to do it again, Mike? Yeah. The job was an effort, and an effort in constructability. How do you get concrete up here? How do you get the steel up here? How do you get it all laid out, the expansion joints, and get it done? And the job that our guys did, putting up the railings and the lights, is a testament to, like the mayor said, their dedication to public service. So I look at this as a career project. This will be here for the next 100+ years for the city to enjoy. And the only place I've ever seen anything like this, and the mayor alluded to that, was in New Orleans. There's a Riverwalk there on the Mississippi, and I can guarantee you this got better vistas than that. This is just beautiful. Mayor, thank you very much for letting me participate. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Ron, for getting it done. Ron is absolutely right. That is the point that people should understand. There's nothing like this in the United States. There isn't, especially once we get the Clark's Cove side done, once we get funding for that in the next couple of years, and we're pursuing that relentlessly. We understand that there's a bike path on levees in Harrisburg, and that there are bike paths on the levees in New Orleans, but they don't have oceanscapes like this. They just don't. This is a unique facility in the United States, and that's why, it's another reason why we can be proud of it, but it's also another reason why it'll be a destination too. To get more people down on the peninsula from the surrounding communities is a good thing for New Bedford. It's a good thing for the surrounding community. So there are a handful of guys from DPI that I just wanted to name in addition to Ron and Seb Baruta and Manny Silva, who's here, Danny Fernandez as well. I wanted to recognize Danny Perry, Ronnie Aguiar, Jared Medeiros, Joe Costa, Davis Fredette. Hope am I forgetting anybody, Ron? Am I forgetting anybody?
That's good.
That's good. All right. But great job. We've got great employees. We've got guys who really get it done and don't go through the motions. They take great pride in what they do because they know they're doing it for their city. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. And and the last thing is just enjoy this. This is great. This is for us. This is for the city.